Hi guys, welcome to another movie crew review. Today we'll be reviewing Deadpool and Wolverine.
The movie stars Reynolds, Hugh, Jackman, and Emma Corrin.
So this film takes place 6 years after the end of Deadpool 2 as the TVA take Wade Wilson from his mundane life and try to prune his timeline. We see the involvement of Wolverine throughout the story, and it hits a lot of the cameos and previous superheroes of the past 20 years. Just as a warning for you guys, we are going to be talking about spoilers in this, cameos and all the things that happen in the film because it's too hard to do without, so you have been warned. So I'll be starting us off today, and I really like Deadpool and Wolverine. Fantastic comedy, great cameos throughout it. So some of the highlights for me were the Chris Evans cameo in the start of the film, or midsection. It's a bit hard to pinpoint exactly for me, but the subversion that you think it's going to be Captain America and it's really Johnny from Fantastic Four was really funny, and they brought back a lot of classic superheroes, Elektra, Blade. Channing Tatum was Gambit, and you couldn't understand a word out of his mouth, which was really funny. The storyline's pretty on the basic side in terms of Deadpool is trying to save his Earth from being pruned, or his world timeline from being pruned from the TVA, and Matthew McFadden's playing the Tom Wamsgand of the TVA as he's trying to prune all of the timelines that he pretty much wants to eliminate instead of letting them die off slowly. So you get a lot of cameos from not only the previous superhero movies, but also from the current Marvel series, and a lot of jokes, a lot of comedy based in that. And I really think that Ryan Reynolds led the film really well. The comedy styling that he had for Deadpool 1 and 2 really comes over to this. Hugh Jackman played it really good. He really held the emotional parts that he had to hold, and I think that's a good part to his classic acting style, and we have little jabs at him throughout the film, and it's just a really fun time and a great watch. I really enjoyed the plot. You think Matthew McFadden is the villain and the main antagonist based off the trailer, but it's really Cassandra, who is the twin sister to Charles and has that mental acuity, and that plays a great role when you get into The Verge. And yeah, it was a really enjoyable film and a really great watch. Moon?
Okay. So the good parts I'll talk about first. Like John mentioned, the chemistry between Deadpool and Wolverine was really good. They have this banter going on throughout the movie. They're fighting a lot with each other. They're fighting other people as well. And that's like the best part of the movie. The fight scene, I think all of them are really good. And then you have Wolverine, who got like massive chip on his shoulder. So does Deadpool. And that really plays to the emotional part of the movie. And then we get to the bad part of the movie, and like John said, the plot was pretty simple. It was a bit cartoonish for me, and all the cameos except for maybe a couple, I was like, okay, so they basically go to this void, and for me, the void is basically all the cameos here. It's just another way to get all the cameos. So I relate cameos as like more to like jump scares in horror movies. They work for a few seconds for me, and then they just don't work for me. But maybe one I liked it. And the plot was meh, and Cassandra is like the main villain of the movie. Sort of they redeemed her, and then they went back making her the bad guy. I don't know what's happening with that. And at the end, Deadpool and Wolverine had to like hold hands and save the timeline, which was fun, I guess. Yeah. Yep, that's from me. Cameron?
Yeah, look, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. This is Deadpool 101, just quippy, humorous, the action, the over-the-top violence. I loved every minute of this movie. I thought
unlike you, the Void. I thought it was a creative way to interject everything Fox related into one space without it feeling forced. For me, it gave it a good excuse for everything to happen the way it did, and I really enjoyed that. And just, yeah, like you said, the chemistry between Deadpool and Wolverine, oh, just stuff of dreams, honestly. I can't fault it. It's exactly like I'd imagined it before this movie. Just the back and forth, the over the top, I want to kill you, I'm going to kill you, but obviously they can't kill each other. Just like, oh, it was just a fun time. And yeah, just great. It was like everything. Yeah, it was just amazing. I'm speechless. I loved it.
I did really enjoy the end credits, like when they showed the whole the Fox universe, like
Yeah,
yeah, all the
behind the
X-Men stuff,
scenes.
yeah, behind the scenes. That was really good.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack, I think this is probably the closest soundtrack to hit the first Guardians, because everyone holds Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 soundtrack as the pinnacle of Marvel soundtracks, really, with all the classic songs, with the new songs. I think this is just a little bit up there with it. I thought it held its own with all the musical choices and how they interjected into the film. I think it really helped.
And even the fights, there was a fight scene between Wolverine and Deadpool in the minivan, and
Oh, that was really
that
good.
was
That
really
really
good. The music choices, but also the comedy aspect of the Greatest Showman coming on for that, split second. It was really funny, and I think that the movie helped a lot. Peter, one character who's actually
Yeah.
quite important in this film. Funnily enough, he was in the last Deadpool, part of the X-Force, the only one that only lost an arm and didn't die, but in this film he's plays a pretty important role, and he's really funny. So I found that a good addition, but I would have liked more Dopinder. We got him for like a split second, but no taxis this time around.
When Wolverine put the mask on, I was like,
Yeah, just a
That was
throwback
so-
to our childhood, I think.
yeah,
It
that was
just,
so good. Yeah.
it really looked good as well for most scenes. It really did. Especially the close up when they're in the subway
Yeah.
Yes.
and he's interrogating the TVA guy. I
Mhm.
thought that looked beautiful.
Funny. Yeah.
But even the way they introduced like all the cameos, like there was that guy in the cinema, like every time they introduced somebody important, it was like cheering.
Yeah.
It's like it's done in a way that it's spectacular, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's definitely for the fanboys.
Yeah, it was like even that, just the way that Captain America / Johnny, Chris Evans' character in the film was introduced was done really clever and really funny, that you like didn't know, then you kind of knew, and then it was not what you were thinking. It was really clever. I really thought that was like top tier misdirection.
Alright, guys. Who was your favorite cameo, you reckon, from Deadpool and Wolverine?
Wesley Snipes played 100%.
Do you want time to think about it, or you're right?
No. I just like one cameo. I was like, yes. That my guy.
John?
I've got to say Chris Evans' cameo. That was probably the most substantial and the one that I found the funniest overall, and it's really, really good when you see the film. Really good laugh.
Yeah, I really loved X-23, seeing her older now and just still tearing crap up. It was just awesome to see her back on the big screen. Alright, we're going to give our scores.
Yep.
Moon, how many Deadpools out of 10?
I'll give it 7.5 Deadpools out of 10.
John?
I'm going to give it 9.5 Deadpools out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 9.5 Deadpools out of 10. Alright guys, make sure to like, share the video, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.